Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet, and this is game number 3 of the series between... hold on, let me get this thing up. It's between Elfi, our blue Protoss player, up the top left side of the map, and our red Terran player MorroW up the top right. Did I just say Elfi was up the top right? Oh, my memory is so shit house. Yeah, moving on. Terran versus Protoss, TVP. These guys have been going absolutely nuts. Elfi absolutely smacked MorroW around in the first game, and then MorroW went upside Elfi's head with a 4x2 in the second game. So yeah, third game, it is going to be absolutely epic, and it's going to be even more epic because look at this map, man. It's freaking huge. There's like 20 billion expansions all over the place, and we are definitely going to be seeing some heavy macro games on this map. Simply because, I mean, you really can't go for any sort of really early pressure simply because you don't know where your opponent's going to be. So you may go for like a 6 pull or something and then be like, hey, here I am with like 6 lings, and you're in the wrong side of the map because you didn't know where he was and you guessed wrong. So yes, not fun. So yes, we're definitely going to be seeing some early, actually we're not going to be seeing anything early. We're going to see late stuff, late game, macro, that sort of stuff. So yes, and the fact that MorroW's been going for a early command center when he's been on 2-player maps, almost certainly, there we go, going to be going for the early one. And here we go. Elfi is following the same plan, so we're going to see him get a nice early nexus as well. So yeah, these guys are playing pretty much exactly the same, except this guy's got some more probes. I think that's because these guys get sucked down when they're building a building they can't mine, so little bit not as many minerals going on, but still going to be some good stuff. And here we go, choosing right the first time. Elfi coming in here and moving in, and is going to be scouting it out. And yeah, so that's going to be pretty awesome. So yeah, he's probably going to try and kill this worker. I don't know how well that's going to work because two reinforcing workers going to come down. Is going to be scaring this probe away. No, yes, the probe's not going to be too happy about that. He's actually sending this guy back to the main pack, and the other SCV is just to keep a tail on this guy. So yeah, pretty sweet. But both these guys are going to get up at the same time, and although MorroW is going for the same 2 barracks that he got last game, so should be, yeah, some really nice early pressure. And Elfi is actually going for a Zealot at the same time as a Cybernetics core, so maybe he's hoping to do what he did in game 1, which is a Zealot Stalker getting out there really early and doing some really early damage, which not really going to happen, I don't think, because MorroW was definitely taken unawares in game 1, but in game 2 he got those 2 early barracks up and he was ready for it. And yes, in this game I believe he's going to be ready for it as well. We can see we already got the bunker going on. So yeah, I guess this Zealot must just be for defensive purposes, although he really couldn't defend his way out of a paper bag when it comes to SCVs, so yeah, not too much. That SCV is just teasing him, man. That is so wrong, just so wrong right there. There we go, he's just letting him get a hit off, and he's just going to run away. He's laughing inside his suit the entire way. And the Zealot, man, the Zealot is going to have issues, man. Although that mothership call, man, sorting it all out, and the Zealot's just like, thanks dude, man, that guy was really getting to me. But here we go, both guys are going for an insane amount of macro. And we can see here that Elfi is going to be ahead here. Because of that chrono boost, I believe. He's been chrono boosting out stuff all over the place, which is really going to give him the advantage here. But yeah, with the mules coming down, I think overall these guys should be even. Now here we go, the mothership core. Actually, have a look at the income. Yeah, see, the mineral income is about the same. The gas is a little bit more, but overall, with the mules in there, where are the mules? I can't actually see any mules, so I don't really know what's going on. Maybe there was some probes just running around doing stuff instead of actually working, which would not surprise me because I've sort of got the impression that a lot of these guys are just slackers. I mean, they look like they're working, but they're probably just like half working, you know, like or quarter working or something like that. Just they look busy, but at the end of the day, it's like shit actually didn't get done, and you're like, well, what the hell happened? And it's just, yeah. So what have we got going on? We've got a weapon, we've got a stim upgrade, we've got a bunch of marines, we've got a factory coming out, we've got a lot of barracks. So it looks like Triple M. These guys are sort of standing to attention, maybe. They're not. They should be facing the same way if they're standing to attention. So they're sort of messing it up a little bit, but I guess the general's not here. He's sort of I don't know, in the command center or something like that, just doing whatever. So yeah, look at these marines, man, just all over the place, looking for buried treasure. Maybe is there any buried treasure on this map? Can anybody tell me? Maybe I suppose this technically counts as treasure, a mineral field, but yeah, it's, I don't know, man. They're probably like, hey guys, guess what? I found some treasure. It's big and it's blue. And the SCVs are like, oh come on, man, you got to be shitting me. Is this guy playing a joke or what? But there we go, bunch of sentries coming in, perhaps thinking about securing the third base, and that marine just absolutely got disintegrated, man. It's just like boiled him up to like 1,000,000 degrees Celsius, and he just melted and exploded at the same time, which is a little bit messy, but there you go. What do you expect? And did they see the observer? I thought they may have. They're going to see it now. Come on, are you paying attention, Mr. Morrow? Mr. Observer is right here. He's waiting for you to scan him. He's just sending out guys. He's just sending out scouts to have a look, and I guess he's worried about a third base. I mean, he's got to be just worried about the Protoss getting a third base down, but he's sending out the good old Mr. Factory once again to give things a bit of a scout. And it looks like Elfi is doing what he did in game one, which is really pushing hard to get a Colossus out. So definitely he needs to scout this, but of course a marine scouting a Colossus, I would not want to be that marine, because that's got to be the worst scouting job I've ever seen. So MorroW, he's got a nice force here actually, but he's going to see that one marine get chewed up by the Colossus, and he's going to be rethinking his plan. So he's thinking, maybe I'll drop into the main base, try and snipe something, and that's actually a pretty good plan. So nice job rethinking that. The Colossus out here, he does have some forces up the top along with another Colossus. He may have spotted this coming around, or he may have just expected it. But here we go, these guys are going to go in. They'd love to snipe a Colossus with the Marauders, but it's not going to happen. Some of them getting split off, and I was about to call these guys motherships. The medevac is going to have to fall away. And yeah, meanwhile, Elfi is looking like he's in a pretty good spot. He does need a third though, and so far he hasn't been able to get one because of this annoying MorroW guy. And look at this marine, man. He's just, that is a total suicide thing going on right there, man. He did not want to live anymore, so he chose to run into the light, and in this case I guess the light was the red flaming scorching death coming out of the Colossus. Beautiful job there by our Terran player, forcing the cancel down there, and MorroW doing a really good job, man, of getting his shit together in this game. He's got the Vikings coming out to counter the Colossus, and he's denied that third base. So, and he's constantly sniping pylons, man. This is just annoying though, it really is. I mean, I'm not sure what he's trying to do here, except keep these Colossus back. Oh, this medevac, man, you are about to have a very bad day. There we go. But he's too worried about this right here doing a drop. And, oh, the Nexus, man. I thought the Nexus killed that. Shouldn't the Nexus have a kill there? Maybe it doesn't get counted. Maybe the Nexus doesn't get kills. That's a bit sad. Yeah, maybe it loses all it kills. Oh, it's still got the Nexus overcharge, I think. Oh, what is this thing? I don't know. But here we go. That's actually a pretty nice drop there. He's got to kill quite a few pros, but I think this army. Oh, can he snipe the Colossus? There goes one. Just got it, I think. Oh, or was that a hallucination? I don't know. It didn't die like a Colossus normally dies, man. It just went poof. It didn't like go explode and stuff like that. It just went poof. So I think it was a hallucination, but we should be able to tell if it's a hallucination. So I don't know, maybe it's just a different death animation of the Colossus or something like that. So yeah, this thing is supposed to have a units lost tab. Let me see if I can find the units lost. I thought there was. I thought I read on the patch notes that there's a new units lost thing where you can actually see what specific units were lost. I may have been wrong. I may have been mistaken. And yeah, alright, I can't find it. Maybe I'll search for it another day. See if I can. Maybe I've got the wrong one selected. Maybe it was another one. Oh, very nice here. This third base, man. Look at all these SCVs. They're all going to die. Really great stuff going there. A couple of Marines getting past, but the SCVs, man, they're doing a bit of a ring around the rosy here, and he needs to have some forces to scout them off to kill these off. He's got the take down the command center, but all of these SCVs, man, he should have had something else going around. He should have pulled some forces back to cut them off. He did not, however, and there we go. He's going to suck all these forces away, except for these two zealots, man. He's just they're hiding under the tree, man. Or at least one of them is. They're like, oh shit, we got left behind. Quick, hide, hide. And there we go there. So they're going to be fine for a little while. But you know who's not going to be fine? Elfi, if he doesn't get an expansion. I mean, for crying out loud, he needs this third, man. He needs this third base more than he needs air right now, which is actually interesting because I'm not sure what the Protoss players actually breathe. But, I mean, yeah, they fly around in ships, so and I don't know, I mean, has a human player ever been aboard a Protoss ship? I assume they need air, because I mean, Zeratul went aboard Jim Raynor's ship and he didn't die or anything, so yeah, I assume they need air, so that's a pretty fair assumption, but you never know. Bunch of Vikings going in here, definitely whittling down the Colossus numbers, but that ground army from the Terran player was taking a pounding. And this base cancelled again, man. Cancelled again. MorroW did have his base taken out though, so he's not happy about that. But yeah, he's this is the war of the third base, man. Who can get the third base up the fastest? And I think one of these players has got to go for a sneaky third up the back somewhere because yeah, where's it going? These zealots, man, they got tired of hiding. They're going to come out and they're going to hit some stuff. And this guy's like, yeah, come on, man, let's do it, let's do it. The other guy's like, fuck that, I'm out of here, man. Oh, poor guy. He's actually going to do a scout, man. So he's like, yeah, I'm totally not deserting the fight, man. The Aya dude told me to scout. Was it the it's not the arc on the educator or whatever the hell the head dude is in the Protoss guy, like Tassadar or whatever. Told him to go scout, so he's totally not slacking off from the battle. He's totally doing something important. And we do have storms coming on the way, so he's not happy with his Colossus entirely. He wants to get the storms out as well. And here we go, third base. I'd be thinking about maybe a fourth base as well, but I don't know if he can defend a fourth base. I don't know if either player can. I mean, but look at this though. Elfi really pushing out on the units here. He hasn't got a massive amount of workers, so these are all army units. A large amount are zealots though, which are relatively cheap, but with zealot legs, man, he's still going to be good. He hasn't actually got legs. He needs legs, but they're just about finished, so that'll be good. Here you go, a bunch of Vikings coming in. The Terran player's like, alright guys, it's time to take out the Protoss third again. But I don't think the Protoss is going to let this happen. I don't know if he has a choice right now. Look at this, sending one Marine in. And all of these probes, man. So he's... yes, very annoying Marine right here. Or maybe he just didn't get the memo. But here we go. Actually, this is a pretty forward sensor tower right here. He probably needs one a little bit up here on this cliff. That would be really nice. But I guess this is the main entry to his base that the Protoss player has been using. So probably do for now. And Terran player really doing a good job on the upgrades though. He's getting 2 weapons for his ships. And he's already got 3-3, whereas the Protoss has only just started getting 3-3. So lagging a little bit behind, but he hasn't had as much third base time as the Terran player has. So it's expected he'll be a little bit behind on some things, but he is ahead on armies, so that's going to be pretty good. And here we go, MorroW going for the ghost. I don't know if he saw the High Templar. Where is my shrimity doodly, whatchamacallit? He hasn't seen it, so it must just be a good guess. But he probably knows how Elfie works, man. He's like, yeah, this guy's totally going for storms right now. So he gets a couple of ghosts, and even if he's not going for storms, EMP on all those zealots is going to be freaking awesome. So yeah, why the hell not? And yeah, so this army is really getting boosted up, but he's still in a defensive mindset right now. He does not want to move out because he's really scared that MorroW is just going to run in and start wiping out his base. And meanwhile, MorroW has got a 4th base out. So yeah, really, Elfie needs to do something. He needs to push out. He needs to get a 4th. He needs to get into this game. He's not really into this game at the moment. He's just sort of building units and knocking back attacks. He's not really getting in there and doing stuff. He tried. He did a good attack on there, and that was good. But since then, he's not really been getting stuck into it. He's just been building up. So we'll see if he can shift that around right now. He's waiting for 3, and that'll be coming out in a matter of seconds. But the Terran player sees this. He's got to push in. He doesn't quite want to engage yet. But a nice blink. They're going to try and get some stuff out. There we go. 3-3 just about finished. He's going to try and push in now. Beautiful storm on the Vikings. Those guys got absolutely owned, but there's only one Colossus left anyway, so the Vikings are fairly useless at the moment. And storms coming down all over the place. You see the High Templars right up the back. This sensor tower finally going to go down, and he's going to be looking to go in there. There we go. Another storm on the Vikings, but I'm not sure that he really needs to be storming the Vikings, because the Vikings, as I said, they're pretty much useless now with only one Colossus on the field. Though it does look like he is going to be upping his Colossus production once again. And he's even going for shield upgrades, which would be pretty awesome when it finally does get down. I've never actually seen a pro game where somebody goes for all 3 upgrades at the same time. But I'd like to see it, but I mean, you got to agree it is pretty nuts to try and do that, just in terms of how much you spend on it. So yeah, I mean, he's got a fairly good amount of units, but he's not making the push. He's waiting for everything to be just right, for the sun and stars to start aligning and all that before he makes his attack. And meanwhile, MorroW is pushing in, constantly hitting him, constantly pushing Elfie back, and doing some great job. These ghosts, man, they are out on the hunt, really trying to get some snipes down here. Doing a pretty good job, but the ghosts, a little bit of danger from some zealots here. And really getting some nice storms down here. And yes, Elfie decides to do a bit of a push here, getting some really good hits off on MorroW's forces, but MorroW is definitely taking his fair share of the kills here. And we've about evened it up, but it does look like Elfie has the advantage here. And really, these Archons morphing in are really helping him out a lot there. The Archon's really bulky, doing a lot of good stuff versus both the Marines and the Marauders. And yeah, so great job there from Elfie getting that done with 2 more Colossus in. I think he's going to be very dangerous in the coming minutes. So we'll go in and we'll see what he can do. This missile turret does not stand a chance, although it did get one hit off on the observer. And here we go, chasing these guys in, and this is a perfect opportunity for Elfie to start taking out some expansions. And there we go, 4 orbital commands, just hits for the taking. He's got to be worried about getting flanked, but a couple of thingamybobs down there going to keep the Terran player stuck in a little bit. And there we go, a lot of workers are going to die here, but he's got to be worried about the Colossus. He's going to pull out a little bit here, try and get in a better position so he doesn't get flanked. The Vikings coming in, but some Blink Stalkers going to wipe them out very easily. And here we go, he needs to have his Colossus on the infantry. One Colossus attacking him, the other one not. Here we go, push in, stop attacking this. What are you doing? Get the Colossus on those forces. There we go, he's finally moved him on, and it does look like Elfie has the forces here to do what he needs to do. I mean, he managed to get those 2 Colossus out, and he's got such an awesome anti-air force right now. Here's a 3rd Colossus, and MorroW in desperate need of Vikings, but he just doesn't have them. He's producing 4 at the moment, which might help him, but with Blink Stalkers and Archons on the field, I really don't think it's going to be enough. I think these Colossus are just going to keep on keeping on, and keep on doing a ton of damage, and I think that Elfie potentially has won this game. Just getting a storm off just before he dies. A great job. These Vikings getting beautiful position. They're going to try. There we go. 1 Colossus goes down, and we did see that little poof death animation right there. So it doesn't always explode. Sometimes it just goes poof and just disintegrates into absolutely nothing. So yeah, very, very interesting. But I like it better when they explode and their legs sort of fall off, and it's like they tried to do the splits or something and their legs fell off or something like that. It's really, really awesome. And here we go, Vikings getting another good position. Really hitting these guys hard, attacking with the same time. The Vikings are finally going to go down, but the Stalkers expending all that effort on the Vikings and not on the Marauders, and the Colossus numbers getting very, very weak here. And MorroW is definitely pushing it out, but has the damage been done? I mean, he lost so many workers. He's still got this base going, but 15 workers behind. The Protoss player has expanded to a 4th base, so he is well in the lead in terms of economy. Of course, the Terran player does have a fair amount of command centers, fair amount of orbitals, so he can mule his way to a ton of units if he wants to, and he's actually got quite a lot of resources here, but I'm not sure he can hold off this base. And yeah, this is looking bad. An Archon man going in there. He's trying to push in the backside, but a couple of storms here going to do quite a lot of damage. And there we go, scaring these guys out. He still has not managed to take this base out. But yeah, that's the bad side, because I mean, he can't really attack SCVs because they automatically attack the planetary fortress. So maybe if he focused the Colossus on the SCVs, he might have been able to do a little bit more. But regardless, this planetary is going to survive, and this Terran force is going to survive, but it's just not that much. I mean, he's just behind right now. That's all I can say. He's behind. The Protoss player just continuing to push in with 5 Colossus at the moment, really pushing those Colossus numbers. And yeah, I don't know. I think he's caught him a bit by surprise. He's going to try and repair it. It's just too late. All these SCVs are going to go down, and that has got to be it right now, because he's going to put a drop down here, but I think this is just the end. I mean, look at that. A bunch of feedbacks actually coming down on these guys. Was it feedbacks? I thought it was, but they haven't lost any health, so maybe not. And a bunch of very, very heavy Marauders coming down though. It's going to be hitting a whole bunch of stuff, but I do not think that MorroW has it. I mean, MorroW has got a ton of Marauders, and they're really, really good at taking out buildings, knocking down all the production really, really fast. In terms of a base race though, I don't know, man, because I would say that elfi can hold this off, but all these production facilities have just been taken out by the pylons going down. So the only thing that's going to be able to take out these Marauders is the main army, which is all the way over here. And given that buildings can fly, I don't know. I mean, I was confident of elfi winning, but now I'm not so confident, because all he has to do, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Look at these guys. They're even running off. They're going to be building another base somewhere else. And yeah, if it's a base race, man, I do not think that elfi 100% has the win here. He's got the army. I don't know if he has the win. It's going to come down to a lot, I think. At some point the Protoss has to move back, has to start defending his bases right here, because he could spend hours chasing buildings around on the map. He does not have the tech to really take out buildings that are flying around. Here we go, a bunch of High Templars though coming in, doing some great damage. The Archon doing some great damage as well. I don't know how he got these guys out, but somehow he managed to do it. And there we go, all getting wiped out with some really great defensive work there. He must have had some buildings, like a couple of gateways and stuff like that. And yeah, great job there. Managing to get that little bit of defense out there to block those guys off. I thought it would be a little bit tighter, but he got it done, so congratulations to elfi. And he is going to be pushing ahead into the quarterfinals to face off against either Stardust or Huck, and we will be casting those games very, very soon. So thank you very, very much for watching this, guys, and stay tuned for the rest of the round of 16 in the DreamHack Valencia tournament. I will catch you guys later. This has been xhairymuppet.